downtown Adelaide. From it's.
Yeah, downtown Auckland actually,
I
but
know,
no,
I
no,
was
no.
going to say it's
It's
more. It did sound more New Zealand.
yes. Okay, so yeah, my kids have just gone like 3 minutes ago. In fact, there's still some in the building, so sorry, it's rushed. Okay, so I've only just started using this, but shall I just quickly share? God, I haven't shared screen since COVID. Like this is so bad. Right, let me share, and then hopefully I can see the screen window. I haven't. Hang on. What am I going to do? Let's see. Share screen window. Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see how. Oh, yeah. Can you guys see that?
Not yet. You
I
might be.
should have. That's what I'd
There
rather.
you go.
I'd rather. There we go. Yes, can you see that now?
Not yet. I think
There we go. I think I flipped
that's
it
you
up.
now. Yep,
Hang
that's
on.
us.
How's that looking?
Perfect.
Okay. So can you? Is that us on the meeting? And then
Yep. We can still.
what are you seeing? You seeing
Yeah.
Diffit?
We can see. Yeah, we can
Okay.
see Diffit. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So, basically, I don't know how I found this out, but it useful for me. So what you can do, what I'm doing at the moment, in its early days, to I get probably better use out of it. But in Divot, you can copy and paste. And what I'm doing is I'm copying and pasting chapters from a PDF, like a class novel. So I teach primary. I'm in primary 5, but second stage, wherever. What I've done this year, I've pasted text from Kitsuki's Kingdom, from the Explorer, whatever. There is a limit to how much you can paste in, but you can get nearly a whole chapter. So if you take out a few bits that you don't really want, you can get most of the chapter. So you copy and paste. Sometimes you have to play around with the PDF so that you can copy the text over, or maybe you're lucky enough to find something that's already in a sort of. So what you can do once you've pasted the text in, then you can actually choose what level you want it to recreate at. So because of course you can differentiate it really, really well, especially for children that are, English as an additional language, or find them, learning, especially with English, a little bit more tricky. So you can sort of, what you like, press voila, and off it goes. I haven't actually got anything to show you because I literally just, but it was been crazy. I've just finished with an Easter recap, so. You get a new level of whatever. Once you have the level you want, you can then do a similar thing into question well. You can put any text you like in there, and again, if you want to change the level, you can generate questions, and it will give you a quiz format that you can export to Kahoot and make a Kahoot. It's sort of I guess when I explain it like that, I feel a little bit faffy, but actually it's really good to put sort of end of chapter sort of comprehension. I mean, of course, they're Kahoots at the end of the day. They're not, you're not your standardized assessments, but they definitely the kids really enjoy doing that, and it's been a really easy way to sort of
That's
start using AI
yeah.
in the class.
That's awesome. So that's
That's it.
so that was beta dot dff.
It's different, yeah. Better different me
Okay. That's yeah.
and questionwell question.org. Both of them were free for me to sign up as a teacher.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. That's quite good for kind of for creating those kind of those kind of quick checks and actually doing something as a plenary as a starter to the next topic or the previous topics. That's quite good. I like that.
And for early finishes and things like that, you can just put a Kahoot code on,
Yeah,
sign a Kahoot, and then off they go. So it's really nice.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to share that, Fiona. Really appreciate that. Mr. Johnson, my friend, it has been far too long since I have seen you even via a virtual background screen like this, talking to you on Mastodon and all the socials. But are you ready to go? Are you happy to share?
I think so. It's been a while. I think it's cool was the last time I put a presentation in the Teams and talked through it. So, hopefully, I'm looking for sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Screen that it looks right. Have I shared my screen now?
Yep, you've got your screen there. Look at that, old hat at it.
Okay.
And you're using a Mac, so that's the best part.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought I'd grab some screenshots because this is probably overlong, but I use ChatGTP a wee bit, and I use HP5, which is a system which we use in Globe Logs now, which allows various forms of interactive content, sort of videos, quizzes, like 53 different varieties of things. And there's a wee interface in there for creating them. But I've been using it to do quite a lot of stuff. I've made hundreds of sort of quick finishers, extra practice for spelling, sort of things. And there's a few things that ChatGTP can help with. I'm just going to run through it. So one of the things is the drag words quiz. So this is a drag the words quiz made in HP5 books. You set it, and there's lots of help. I'll not dwell too long on that. And you can see it just consists of a list of words that you drag into boxes. And the way I've been using it to do this quite quickly is that as GTP5, I've said, give me example sentences you suitable for 10-year-olds. Please put the words from the list between asterisks.
Mm-hmm.
For example, and I give it an example, the quick red fox chased a chicken, and foxes and asterisks. Don't put the words at the start of the sentence. I found that by using GTP5, just using the free one, quite often it will give you the word in it, and I don't want that. And you'll see why in a wee minute. So this is what ChatGTP says, and it doesn't look as if it's made things italic, but behind that is are italics. It creates what's called Markdown, which is a markup language, a simple markup language, where you make things by italic by putting asterisks in. So there's a wee copy button, and if I copy that, this is what I would get in my clipboard here. The words with asterisks around them, which is exactly what I need. And you can see the wee arrow. VS should be asking it for UK spelling as well. I nip into a blog, and this is the back end of a global, and because I've activated this HP5 content plugin, I go there, I click add new, and it shows me all the different types of content. And the one I want to make is this one, drag the words. And if I'm making that, I click on that and I get these instructions. And the instructions are basically type in here and put the words you want to be like asterisks. So that's perfect for what I've just got GTP to generate. I put it, I could put in these distractors, extra words that aren't in the sentences just to confuse the children. But in this case, I haven't. And it produces this here. And the only wrinkle is that when it produces that, there's a wee create button. You create makes this, but I've still got to actually add it to a post in my blog. HP5 is a system that's used all over the world, generally in higher education, to make interactive stuff. So it can be used in different systems. In the blog one, I basically copy that code it gives me, which is open square brackets, ID, and just copy that and paste it into a post. And the other ways I've used it is to generate text and then questions on those texts. So this is one here that's been created about dragonflies and damselflies, and this has actually got 3 bits of content all sort of mashed together in HP5, a wee slideshow of pictures, some text, and then at the bottom, multi-choice. There's a whole series of multi-choice questions behind that. And I said, can you write me a short passage for 11-year-old children, damselflies and dragonflies? And it gives me something that I just need to check they haven't made any, because I have noticed that it will confidently tell you things that are completely wrong sometimes. But even checking it is a lot quicker than me writing it. And when I've done that, I say, can you give me a set of 10 multiple choice questions? Now, my prompt is quite big here because I want them in this exact format. So I've said, multiple choice questions about the information you give me. I want them to be literal questions, and the answer should be contained in the text. I'm saying that twice just to try and make myself really clear. Please give me the questions in the format of a question in a line, followed by 3 alternative answers, one in each line. The first answer should be the correct answer, 2 returns between questions, and then I've said, please give me just text, no numbers, bullets, or letter labels for questions. For example, and I've given an example, and it's come back 10 questions like that. And again, I can pin, and I've made a column in HP5, and then I've put in a wee slideshow, I've put text, which I've copied, and then I'm going to choose this single choice set, which is actually what I would call multiple choice, but they call it a single choice set. And I go in there, and it looks like it's going to be a block for every question. I've got to type the question in and then put the 3 answers or more. But at the top, I've got a wee link to textual. And if I click that, it takes me to this page where I can just paste in my GT5 generated questions like that, and they will then give me this multiple choice set, which I can use in my blogs. And that's how I put it in the blog. I just copy that code and put it in there. And I think like that, yeah. So this is the final content here. I've got a wee slideshow of dragonflies. I've pasted in text into another one. And then I've got my questions. What was the primary diet? I've had dragonflies, small flying insects. It tells me I'm right. And slice up the next question. There's lots of other things GTP5 can be good for. You can make very good that children can do online. I do this with my spelling words, but I'm rotten at thinking of questions, so I just give it a list of words and say, make me some questions. And I need to copy paste them in one at a time, but it gives me, I've generated, I think, probably about a couple of hundred different activities matching our spelling words over the last year or so. It's been handy. I'm happy to talk to anybody at great length about HB5 or the blog. Maybe not quite so much about GTP5. Okay, doke.
Brilliant, John. That's absolutely fantastic. I love the way that you kind of you would take like text and you would be quite specific, and I think that's one of the things I've seen about ChatGPT as well, is if you're quite specific with exactly what you want it to do in terms of even the layout and the format of the questions and the approach, you actually get a more accurate kind of response from it. So I think the fact that you've then taken that, shoved that into an H5P tester or bit of work that you've got there, and for everybody else on the call who's maybe not aware, John literally wrote the book when it came to Glow blogs. There is very little that the man does not know that can get done, and I think what you've done there is actually shown how ChatGPT can make something that we do quite often, which is that kind of the knowledge check or the quick check-in with pupils. You've actually just made it 10 times easier. Would it be possible to get a copy of those slides so that we can share them?
What I've mirrored that on the help log,
right?
So I can give you a link to those. I can give you the slides if you like, but actually I sort of put it in. I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome. That'd be brilliant.
Stick in the chat to be going on with.
Great.
Take me a minute to find it.
Thank you. Olivia, are you ready to share some stuff?
Yeah. If I just share my screen.
Feel free. Thanks, John. Thank you for that.
Can you see that okay?
We can indeed, yes.
So, I mean, the couple of websites that I was going to look at, we've kind of touched on already, but I mean, I guess there are different ways that you can use them in, and I've explored a few. So I would say with ChatGPT, I've been mainly using it for my writing in planning and teaching, spelling, and my topic. So, for example, with writing, as was previously said, the more specific that you can be, the better. I've noticed. Sometimes I'll even get something back and I'll ask it to rewrite it and change elements. Just the more prompts that you can give, the better results you get. So I've asked for 2 examples for a show don't tell descriptive paragraph and then an explanation text, and we'd get something like this back, which I can then often copy and paste, tweak if I need to, and then can put the same passage back in and ask it to make 10 multiple choice questions, or something similar for then a follow-up comprehension leading into reading and things like that. Another thing I've also used it for things like making a topic plan, making a 6-week topic plan for 9 to 10-year-olds about space or about the history of Scotland. And I've asked it to give me suggestions for literacy activities, numeracy, and expressive arts. And then just looking through the suggestions, not to say that you might like everything, but it certainly makes planning a lot easier when you're not, if you're teaching a topic that you're not as confident with. Something that we've been doing in my class, looking back to the writing that my kids have been loving, is doing their writing, and then we look at taking some of their writing examples, going on to the Bing image creator. So this is the only thing with this is the children can't access this, but if we look at if they share some examples, I'll take some of the writing examples and we'll visualize it and see what they can come up with. So I found that that's been really motivating for them in their writing as well, because they love to see what images could be created. And the last thing that I was going to show was looking at DFID as well. So this was the Bing image creator that I've used. So I just join with my school email, and you can just copy and paste in your text. And the last thing that I've kind of been using, oh, sorry, I moved this. So on DFID, all I've typed in is the word Scottish Parliament, and it's up with a reading passage. It's summarised, given me some key vocabulary, some multiple choice, short and open-ended, and I've just clicked get student activities, and this can put it into Google Forms, a 3-2-1 reading summary, a beautiful document with loads of different options like this. And as far as I'm aware, all of this is free that I've kind of played around with. But if I just go to the printable document, get the activity, it should generate it into either a PDF or a Google Docs that you can just print out straight away, which I found to be quite helpful. Go to this. So yeah, create something like this. It's got the definitions and an example, reading passage, and then some multiple choice that you could just print out straight away. So yeah, that's just 3 of the main websites that I've been using over the last year or so. Yeah, I think especially with ChatGPT, you can do that. I've not even realised yet, but yeah, the main thing I've noticed is just being as specific as possible. So yeah, that's everything.
Excellent. I think that's what's great about all of this, is seeing the fact that we're all using very, very similar, we're using very, very similar tools, but we're maybe using them in slightly different ways, which is absolutely brilliant. That's great to see. We've got about another, I would say we've probably got another 5 minutes. If anybody's feeling brave and wants to share for 5 minutes just before we finish up. But that's been a kind of great sort of round robin. Thanks John, Fiona, and Olivia for sharing your experiences. Is anybody else wanting to share? Fiona, you have your hand up.
Yeah, just wondered with John, how does he share like those questions to the kids? Like, how's he sharing them through Google Classroom or what?
run a, I'll paste the URL into paste the URL into the chat would be easy enough. So it's a blog, you know. I mean, pretty much everything, as Martin mentioned, my life is a blog. So I create in a blog and then just put it in a blog. So I've got just get a random one there.